to do with Quran. And many occasions you can find it all in all these denominations. So it's a new form of generation that has come with a new presentation and a new idea of how things should be going. So definitely, if it is not the gods that are changing it, because there's no claim of that yet, it is still presented as if it's the same God. So it's like the same God has given us these ideas. Now, why hasn't God come in to say, I didn't tell you people to do that? But the science tells us that God has neglected man for a very long time. God isn't there. He doesn't show any sign to support what is being done today. And mostly, it is manly effort, achievement to come up with all these great things that we see. The evidence are very much clear with us in all the religions. Neither do Muslims come. So it's only the Christian, especially the Christian current charismatic people, who are able to mount stages to sort of demonstrate signs, miraculous signs that's come from God. But in all my time of trying to be engaging in all these mountain of stage to people who are claiming signs and wonderful things, I've never seen any sign that has impressed me to know that it is divinely from God happening. What I have experienced tells me rather that it was being invented. It was just they're trying to pull something out. They put in the spirit that is moving them to a test, which is a good thing. They're testing the spirit. It's not that bad. They have to know that the spirit is of God or not of God. But the evidence becomes clear to anybody. I'm sure the pastor or any. I used to know one pastor who, from the Lighthouse, the founder of the Lighthouse group. What's his name? He probably now seen as Bishop Duckworth Mills. You know, a much mixed race, breath, nature of person he is. But strangely, he could mount a stage and these miraculous things will go on. And you can see in his face he's doubting. He doubts, and sometimes he comes out plain. He is not hiding it. He says, if this is God, hey, are you sure? You know, he always had that thing that a few times I know him, I don't know what he is now or how he has fallen into the conviction of faith, belief. Even though he believed he's had a whole group of following him here and there. He knew he was not much into that kind of thing, but as time goes on and he enjoyed the moment and the blessings that was coming along, he see it as if it was a great sign coming from God. You know, he's still in that circle of Christianity. I don't know whether he's opening himself to other things. He has gone outside of Christianity to see the picture of what he's creating there, and the picture of what the entire Christianity is being, the creation of the entire Christianity, what it really is about. You know, but in that time, in the moment of witnessing what the things he has to say, I can see clearly that he has his own doubts. You know, he was doubting if the people say, if he touches them or he does something and they say they are being healed. You know, he felt that they were just making it up, because they are so attached to him and they want to say things to impress him, or they want to make him believe that actually he has got some power and he has done something. But he knew that he hasn't got any power and he hasn't got any power to demonstrate anything. You know, just one of the few that I saw that personally I witnessed his way. I witnessed that kind of thing from him. I like that. You know, and he's always ready to bring changes. Now, among them, they have others, maybe the church itself believe in not drinking alcohol in their own way, because they feel simply define it as something that will, if encouraged, can be abused. Others also may take it wrongly and say that, I know a friend who was taking it differently and saying that using the Bible to say that wine is wrong according to the Bible. It is not alcohol that they used to drink in the Bible. And I look at him, I say, no. If the Bible mentioned alcohol, wine, the literal the explanation of it, or the translation of it, even the Greek or wherever it is alcohol. There is an amount of alcohol in the wine that was being told in the Bible. So they were getting intoxicated. Gluttering, the words that were being used refer towards that. It is something which had alcohol content in it. It was not just normal drinking mineral or anything. It was alcohol. So, I mean, if somebody doesn't know and such a person convinces you in such a way, you will begin to drift away from alcohol and think that alcohol in entirely is bad. But scientifically, we also proven to know that it is something which is good for the body. It helps. Even the acidic condition in our belly, sometimes being in that state helps in the digestion. So alcohol in so many ways it's just the level that you have to take. The things that we have in our life, everything has got its use and its benefits. If you don't have self-control and you abuse yourself, you go down. Alcohol, you become an alcoholic, it will destroy you. And even food, you eat too much food, it will destroy you. You can try it. You don't need alcohol only to destroy you. The very food that is legally accepted for everybody to eat. Religiously, scientifically, food is accepted for everybody to eat. Even that, too much of food can destroy you. We have problem with obesity of people, who eat obesely. They don't eat, they eat without control. Others don't even eat, they have obese. Even if they eat, they deny of eating. So it's only the obese that gives them away to show that they're eating. Others also eat, but they don't become big. They're seen as what do you call it? They have a name of calling them eat, and they vomit or something, and they don't become big or huge. They don't put on weight. There are all sort of things, but everything is bad if you take it beyond what you're supposed to take. You must know the limits. You must have self-control. So we won't drift too far away from the facts. The books are there. What we do has no matching to it. So if that is the case, I will not go along the line of which is saying that it's the same God. It could be. But if that is the case, then the weight is lifted off my head and your head. We know that God has manifested differently in a different generation. Why? He only him has the right to do whatever he wants to do. But at the end of the day, it gives him up for us to know that God has not been honest with us. He has not been honest with us. The very God whom I probably serve has changed his own words, changed his own format. Then if he has changed them, then there's nothing wrong. At that time, or nothing wrong with what we do. He just said the laws on us. But we are yet to prove whether he actually said or has changed the things that we are claiming that he's changed. We are yet to have that thing, because the proof is not solid enough to know that God really changed the situation of the time to this moment. Who changed it? Because the very people we are claiming changed it. If we read that, we see different interpretations, different way of which we can come with meaningful presentations to sort of back whatever we're doing. And they are all different. The difference is right clear before us. That's what the breakup is all about. Because if God tells me that I shouldn't do something, and he really tells me that, I have to follow through. Now, if we today think that incest is wrong, in the Christian sector, if you are part of Christianity and you think incest is wrong, you think fornication is wrong, you think adultery is wrong. Now, you're looking at the Ten Commandments as we go into, which tells us those things. Adultery is wrong, fornication is all there in the Ten Commandments. You see those things are wrong. You read the tradition and the ways by which the whole generation has come out. You realize that we are doing something different. Today we read it and we say lying is wrong. Yet it's highly accepted that way, but it is highly practiced among all levels, the high levels, the low levels. People say a lot about lies. People lie with no remorse behind it, freely do things of that nature. People will say that you haven't learned enough of what you're supposed to learn.